One of those beautiful Brazilian cows there. Welcome! Very excited today. We're going to look at some pre-1994 coinage from Brazil. So Brazil is a country near and dear to my heart. I spent 2 years in Brazil as a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and I picked up a lot of coins. Actually, most of the coins in this collection just off the street while I was walking around. Now, Brazil's had some turbulent times, failed economies, some hyperinflation, a military dictatorship ran the country for a good half of the 20th century. A lot of different coins came out, so we're going to take a look at these. And let's start with my oldest coin, the 1945 Cruzeiro. So let me lift it up there a little bit so you can see. This is one of the first Cruzeiro series, not the only one. Flip that over and you've got a pretty little leaf picture there of Brazil. Beautiful map. So 1945, end of World War II. And I forgot to zoom in here. There we go. Give you another chance to see that. So the original Cruzeiro didn't last too long. It went kaput 1967. They had to find a new one. They had to reset the currency. And so they had the new Cruzeiro. 100th of a Cruzeiro is a centavo. So here is a 5 centavo piece from 1976, and it says Alimentos para o Mundo, food for the world. One of those beautiful Brazilian cows there. I saw plenty of those. I like the font there too on the centavos. Carne, it says below that. That means meat. Churrasco. And here we have the effigy of Brazil. So that gives me a Christmas Carol vibe for some reason. Maybe it's the hat. I don't know. Moving on, we've got a 50 centavo piece from 1975. A ship there with a crane on a dock. That's a pretty one. It's unique. And again, that effigy of Brazil. You can tell by the scratches. This spent some time in the streets. At some point, these coins go from copper nickel to all steel. This Cruzeiro failed, and so they issued a new one. This is the 5 Cruzeiro piece from 1980. Got the wavy lines there. Next to the numbers of the date, you've got 2 coffee beans. So if we flip over, this particular Cruzeiro piece is a coffee plant. Again, same face on the 10 Cruzeiro coin from 84. On the back we have roads through Brazil. So these are the major highways. You'll see a big gap there in the Amazon because there's no roads that go all the way through the Amazon. And we're starting to get to some pretty big coinage here. 20 Cruzeiros, again from 84. This is one of my favorites. This is a church of Saint Francis of Assisi, or in Portuguese, São Francisco de Assisi. And this is in a city called Ouro Preto. I had a chance to visit this church. Beautiful, beautiful city, all built mostly in the 18th century. So this one I like. Finally, we've got 50 Cruzeiro coin. This has got a fun map of Brazil there. So, we got up to a 50 in coins because of hyperinflation. These coins just got more and more worthless. So they hit the reboot button and they said, hey, let's change it to the Cruzado. So now we're into the Cruzado, 1986. And flip that over. Now what we've got on the back is the state emblem of Brazil. This is something that you'll see today in federal offices. It was on my non-citizen identification card when I was down there. So 5-pointed star, you've got the Southern Cross within it. You've got coffee and tobacco plants on the sides. And you've got 27 stars around it for the 27 states of Brazil. Here we've got the 5 Cruzado. Again, same state emblem. This one's a little easier to see, of course, it gets a little bigger. And finally, the 10 Cruzado. This one's a little more worn, but basically the same. Well, the Cruzado failed as well. Hyperinflation. Let's give that Cruzeiro one more try. Early 90s, Soviet Union fell. It's a whole new world order. Let's try things again. So 1 Cruzeiro. Now you've got kind of an interesting design there with the Southern Cross. Kind of modern. Kind of looks like the flag, or part of the flag. And finally, a 10 Cruzeiro piece. Again, the last Cruzeiro This one's from 1991. Got what I believe is a rubber tapper. I'm working with latex there. Got a factory there in the foreground, just to remind the world that, hey, we're Brazil. Had some rough times, but we're still in the industry. Things are getting better. That's pre-1994 coinage for Brazil. All discontinued, no longer in circulation. You can find these kicking around down there today even. Brazil, they had a lot of rough times in the second half of the 20th century, but things got a little better. Still some struggles down there economically, but a lot of potential, a lot of resources. So in the next video, we'll go over the current circulation coinage. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.